All right, let's talk about the ghost in your machine, your habits. That invisible force that pretty much dictates everything from how you tie your shoes in the morning to the snack you always seem to grab when you're feeling stressed. Today, we're going to dive deep into the hidden brain science that runs a massive part of your life, most of the time without you even noticing.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been driving home, you pull into your driveway, turn off the car, and then it hits you? You have absolutely zero memory of the last 5 miles, right? You were navigating traffic, you made turns, you stopped at lights, but who or what was actually driving the car?
The answer? Well, that was your brain's autopilot. While your conscious mind was off thinking about what to make for dinner or replaying a conversation from work, these incredibly deep automatic programs, these like zombie subroutines, they just took the wheel. And this isn't some weird glitch in the system. It's a feature. It is 100% by design.
Okay, so why does our brain want to outsource so much of our life to these zombie programs? Well, it really just comes down to one thing. Our brains have a deep, deep addiction to being efficient. They are built from the ground up to conserve energy at all costs.
I mean, think about the numbers here. Your brain is only about 2% of your body weight, but it is an absolute energy hog. It devours a massive 20% of your daily calories. See, conscious thought, making new decisions, that stuff is incredibly expensive, metabolically speaking. So, to save that precious energy, your brain's #1 goal is to turn any repeated action into a super low-cost, automatic habit.
So how does this actually happen on a biological level? It's all based on this fundamental rule of how our brains work, something called neuroplasticity. And the rule is simple. Cells that fire together wire together. And I want you to know that's not just some catchy phrase. It's the literal, physical mechanism your brain uses to rewire itself every single day.
And this slide, it just illustrates that process perfectly. The very first time you do something new, that neural connection is like a faint little track in a dense forest. It takes a ton of effort to get through. But with repetition, that track becomes a paved road. And eventually, with enough practice, it becomes a high-speed railway, a totally unconscious habit that runs so fast and so smoothly you don't even realize it's happening.
So, let's pop the hood and meet the actual cast of characters in your brain that are responsible for all of this. We're going to look at the specific parts that manage this incredible handoff, from conscious, hard work to effortless, automatic action.
The best way to think about it is like a company. Okay, so first you have the CEO. That's your prefrontal cortex. It learns new things, it makes these deliberate, careful, step-by-step decisions. It's really powerful, but it's also slow and, you guessed it, energy hungry. And then you've got the factory floor. That's your basal ganglia. Its job is to take the CEO's successful plans and turn them into these fast, automatic assembly lines that can run 24/7 without any supervision.
And here's the whole team in action. The prefrontal cortex kicks off the whole process. The basal ganglia, that's the main factory floor where the habit gets built. Then you have the caudate nucleus, which is kind of like the long-term storage vault for all your perfected routines. And finally, the cerebellum, which fine-tunes all the physical stuff, the muscle memory. It's just a beautifully coordinated system.
But wait, how does the brain know which of these neural pathways it should strengthen? Well, the secret ingredient here is dopamine, and you've probably heard of it as the pleasure chemical, but that's not really its main job. Dopamine is really an error correction signal. When an outcome is even slightly better than you expected, you get a little hit of dopamine that basically tells your brain, hey, pay attention, that was important, do that again. It's like the chemical foreman that directs the construction of that neural highway.
Now, this system is unbelievably efficient, but, and this is a big but, the exact same machinery that lets us drive a car on autopilot can also trap us in behaviors we desperately want to change. This is the glitch in the system.
And here's the dark side of all this automaticity. With addiction, the brain literally adapts, so you're no longer chasing a good feeling, you're just trying to stop feeling bad. In OCD, that habit loop gets stuck on permanent overdrive. And in diseases like Parkinson's, the dopamine you need to even hit the start button on these automatic programs just disappears, leaving all these learned routines intact but completely inaccessible. And here's something I know we've all felt. Ever notice how your absolute worst habits seem to pop up the second you're stressed? That's not a coincidence. It's biological. Stress actually weakens your rational CEO brain and strengthens your automatic factory floor brain. So when the CEO gets overwhelmed, the brain just hands the keys back to those old, reliable zombie subroutines. You know the ones, the junk food, the doom scrolling, picking that same old fight.
So,
What does this mean? Are we just slaves to our wiring? No, absolutely not. But, and this is key, to change our habits, we have to play by the brain's rules. This final section is the user manual. It's how to work with your biology to rewrite that zombie code.
This right here might be the single most important thing to take away from all of this. You cannot use logic or willpower to reason with your automatic brain. It just doesn't work. The basal ganglia, the factory floor, it doesn't understand reason. It only understands repetition, your environment, and rewards. So to change a habit, you have to use the exact same tools that built it in the first place.
So here are 4 practical, science-backed strategies. First, interrupt the loop. Add a little friction. Move the cookies to a high shelf. Just 20 seconds of extra effort can be enough to wake up your conscious brain. Second, use prediction error. Basically, remove the reward. If you use an app locker on your phone, the expected dopamine hit from social media never arrives, and the brain starts to weaken that connection. Third, you've got to build a new highway. You can't just delete an old habit, but you can build a new, stronger one to take its place. And finally, you have to shield your CEO during those high-stress times.
And this is how you shield your CEO. You create a pre-planned if-then statement, just like the one you see here. What this does is it gives your automatic brain a brand new script to run when stress hits. You decide ahead of time in a calm moment what the new automatic response is going to be, so your overwhelmed brain doesn't have to make a decision in the heat of the moment.
Ultimately, that feeling of being on autopilot, that ghost in the machine, it's not some mysterious, unchangeable part of who you are. It's just a program. And like any program, it was written using repetition and reward. And while it's not always easy, it can absolutely be rewritten, as long as you're speaking the right language, the language of the hardware itself.
So that really leaves us with one final question. Now that you understand the machinery in your own mind, what's the first program you're going to choose to rewrite?